looking at downtown Kearney Mesa. Here's a question for you. Are you boring? Whether the answer is yes or no, now may be the time to look at your life and make some changes for the better. Therapist and life coach Lisa Haisha is here with some tips on how to get excited about your life. Hello. Thanks for coming in. So what exactly is someone boring?
Someone is boring when they don't know themselves.
Okay.
Because when you don't know yourself, it's a downward spiral. You don't have a passion for life. You don't know what you want. You tend to gossip more.
Yeah, so you say that when people are boring, it's sort of they've lost respect for themselves.
Yes, they have lost respect for themselves, and they don't really like themselves.
Yeah, that's interesting because I've always found sometimes in the past that people will sort of gossip because they think it makes them more exciting.
Yes, it's because they have nothing else to say. They're not doing. Usually that means you're a taker and not a giver. Mm-hmm. So when you don't have anything to give, your heart's not full, so you tend to gossip and be negative.
So I'm guessing that being boring is a bad thing. You don't want to be boring.
Right. You don't want to be boring. No. Unless you don't want friends. If you want to be a hermit, great, be boring.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do, if someone, I guess, is boring, how do they change that? How do they change their life and start living?
Well, the first thing is to do is to change your mindset. And that is just starting small. Doing simple things every day, keeping your promises to yourself. A lot of people don't do that. So I would say, pick something that you want to do that's easy, like I'm just going to write, if you're writing a book, I'm going to write 1 page today. Just 1 page. And you could do that and just make it for that day.
Yeah, and I found when you're sort of trying to make a change in your life, I think that works across a lot of different things. Don't sort of take it all on at once, like losing weight. You don't want to say, okay, I'm going to run for 20 hours straight. You want to start small. And I guess the same thing when you're changing your life.
Exactly. Sometimes people go, I need to lose 20 pounds or 30 pounds, and they don't measure up to their goals, so they just quit.
And along with that is the excuses. Stop the excuses these days. No more of those.
Exactly, and the excuses come because of that. When you don't keep your promises to yourself, you get tired and you stop believing in yourself. So, you have nothing to live for. I wake up every day and I don't know what I'm going to do. So structure, so you need structure.
Structure, and then you also feel that people need to reconnect with themselves. And
Absolutely.
What do you mean by that?
That means, what I teach my clients is, every Sunday night, plan your week so you know what you're going to do in the morning, and take the time out to actually connect with yourself. Go in, meditate, go out in nature, and figure out what really makes you tick, what you have a passion for, and when you get that, your life just somehow happens.
Right, so being exciting isn't necessarily going out and being exciting with a group of people, or not being boring, rather. Because I would sort of be like, am I boring because I stay home all the time? But you actually suggest do that.
Yes.
Spend some time to really get to know yourself.
Yes, that's the main thing. It's just knowing who you are. When you know who you are, you could be quiet. You could be sitting in a room. You don't have to be the life of the party. That's not necessarily, exciting. Sometimes those people could be obnoxious. Not being boring. It's just being you. Just being you, whoever you are authentically.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So being the opposite of boring doesn't necessarily mean being the life of the party.
No, absolutely not. Okay. No.
Great. And then your last sort of tip is to move on. What do you mean by move on?
Move on from the negatives in your life. When you're stuck in the negatives of this happened to me and that happened to me and things never work out for me, move on. Say today is a new day. And again, structure, time management, get a life coach, get a friend, a buddy system, someone who you could really work with and be accountable to. And then your life could change.
And I absolutely agree. The best thing for sort of not being boring is to be positive.
Yes.
Positivity, that just radiates to everybody else.
It does. And then you're in the flow. And when you're in the flow, you just say magic happens. What I always teach is expect miracles. When you expect miracles, they come.
Well, I can definitely say you are not boring. You're radiating life.
Thank you.
So that's wonderful. But if you'd like more information from Lisa, you can check out our website and click on the Scene On tab. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to you, Raul.
Thank you, Allie. Comedy can make you not boring sometimes. You make jokes with people, and then you're not boring. Okay, thank you, ladies, very much. Time right now is 9:20. Pregnancy after the age of 30.